Welcome back to the show. I'm Ricky Martin's favorite cabana boy, Joe Rodriguez. We'll get right to our clickbait report.
Clickbait report.
The clickbait report is where I review this week's most click-worthy or worthless news articles. We got some good news for the balding fellows on the podcast. A potential cure has come out. There's a sugary discovery. Scientists have discovered that a sugar called 2-deoxy-D-ribose, otherwise known as 2DDR, 2 dudes, 1 cup R, can help stimulate hair growth. It's naturally occurring, and it's inside the blood. If you put it inside the blood, it goes near the hair follicles, and it warms them up, and it goes, make some hair for us. Here's some sugar. You've been a very dirty boy, but I'll give you some sugar, you follicle, and just grow some hair now. These scientists were trying to figure out how to make wounds heal faster. And I guess they put the sugar on the wounds and then they realized, oh, look, it also helps hair. This guy got in a motorcycle accident, but now he's got a hairy elbow. Wow. So odd. Maybe he can just pretend his elbow is his head from now. Hey, John, thanks for participating in the study. We were wondering, would you, and hear us out, it's kind of a crazy proposition. Would you ever use your elbow as your head? Would you ever pretend that your elbow is your head? Come on, you can pretend the crease is your mouth and go, hey, I'm John. And you've been in a motorcycle accident, so yeah, maybe that's how you talk now. No? All right. Can we cut your head? Can we cut your actual head and rub a gummy bear on it? Please? Pretty please. We've been good. We gave you good parking at the clinic. Before you go rub a dot candy on your head, scientists have to do more research. And I'm not sure that they have to do more testing on rats, but imagine that they have to stress a rat out. Like, how do you get a bald rat? And somebody's going to go in the comments and go, this is actually the genome baldy ratty Vona, and it has existed in Africa for 20 years. You know, like, I don't know. I don't know if there's bald rats. I also don't know if you have to make a rat bald. But I just think it's funny if you had to stress a rat out to get it bald, and then you can try some sugar on it. Make it do some Excel sheets. We have a lot of scientific data. Make the rat do the Excel sheets. Oh, and give it a phone that has Outlook for notifications. It'll be stressed the fuck out. The rat's like, I can't do this anymore. How am I supposed to answer all these emails and then spend 3 hours a day on that wheel that they want me to run around on? He's like, I'm not even a hamster, but they want me to run around on the wheel. I can't do this. I need American Spirit cigarettes. I've been using finasteride, which is commonly known as Propecia. It's sold commercially as Propecia. And I did all this research about finasteride because I heard from everyone like, oh, it's making your prostate small. And it is prostate suppressant. Like it prevents the enlarged prostate. So my prostate is probably really tiny and it's probably rattling around in there. My prostate is the size of a jelly bean. Like, you know, I'm probably walking around and it's going. People are like, oh, are you shaking a can? Oh, no, sorry. It's just my prostate. I sit down. And I'm like, oh, sorry. I have a loose prostate. I looked up the history of finasteride. It's actually quite interesting. In 1942, someone named James Hamilton observed that prepubertal castration prevents the later development of male pattern baldness. So just cut your balls off. Hey, Mom, I'm going to do 12 oxys and a shot of vodka. Can you get the chicken shears? I got to get these balls off before I'm 12 because if I hit 12 and I still have balls, I'm going to be bald, dude. Then in 1974, someone named Julianne Imperato McGinley of Cornell Medical College in New York went to a conference about birth defects, and she found that intersex children in the Caribbean who were sexually ambiguous at birth were initially raised as girls, but then grew external genitalia, some male genitalia after puberty. And this is all Wikipedia talking right now, so Sue me, Wikipedia. This research group found that these kids had a genetic mutation causing a deficiency of DHT, which is what harms the hair follicles. Like, I guess it goes in there and it's like, hey, we're a chemical. And the follicle goes, I can't handle this. DHT, which is bad for the hair follicles. And then upon becoming mature adults, they had smaller prostates and they had no baldness. No baldness. Nice, thick Geraldo Rivera hair. And then you flash forward to 1992, the year of my birth. A pharmaceutical company named Merck got Proscar, it was called Proscar at that time, approved by the FDA. And now Hims.com is all over my Instagrams. Hims.com. Just take one picture with a grainy camera and send it to us. And then you can sign up for our $200 a year's pills that will make you have a jelly bean prostate. This is where we are with science. But I'm excited. In more science news, a mysterious object has been discovered going over 100 million miles per hour. They don't know what this is, but they're calling it CWISE J1249. It may be part of a star or a supernova. Scientists aren't exactly sure, but it is flying so fast. Maybe they discovered my left AirPod. I dropped that in 2012 and never got it back. I've been listening to half of songs, just the right ear. And then I said, poker face, poker face. I'm like, wow, this is an experimental song. It's just, it occasionally goes out. Pop, poker face. Poker face, poker face. Oh. You're going to have to say goodbye to this mysterious object because it's going to escape the Milky Way galaxy. It's going so fast. So say goodbye to CWISE J1249. Take us with you, CWISE J1249. We hate capitalism. And McDonald's hasn't even brought back the snack wrap. McDonald's might bring back the snack wrap, which is actual news. So be sure to stop by for a snack to hold you over on your trip to Bojangles.
It's a food paradise.
Did you guys hear this? Scientists figured out that they can zap beaches to produce natural cement when beaches need it. I'm scared. How did they figure this out? Well, there's actually an answer. The assistant professor at Northwestern University, Rada Loria, describes experiments where they put electrical charges under the sand, under the seawater sand. So the fish were like, a pufferfish was like, ooh, an electrode. I love those electrodes. When I put my pussy over those electrodes, it feels so good. Yes, pufferfish have pussies. Due to the density of the soil and other variables, such as the fact that there are minerals naturally occurring in the sand that produce a lot of ions, it's very easy to make cement and bind the molecules together, causing cement. I'm just a little bit scared that in 100 years, we're not going to be going to the beach. We're going to be going to the parking lot. Honey, pack your foam mattress. The beach towels aren't doing it. Last time I got all bruised. I can't lay on the cement with a beach towel. Oh, and make sure that you get a pigeon, something to keep those pigeons away. The kids are like, Mom, can I go hunt for dead seagulls? She's like, no, you can go look for sands. Dad's going to scatter some shells that he got at Michael's Crafts, and you can go look for those because I don't want you touching those dead seagulls. They have a lot of diseases. That's our future. Maybe there will be like a town hall meeting and drug traffickers will go to it. Hello, my name is John. I'm an entrepreneur and I also do like transport of goods. And I was just wondering if all the beaches will be cement and if we will be told in advance when the beaches will be becoming cement because due to the good, how do I say this? Due to the goods that I bring into the United States of America, the cement will disrupt the supply, and the people at the town hall are like, "You're bringing in coke, right?" He's like, "No, methamphetamine. But the way that we bundle it is very concerning because it will be scratched on the cement. We're just wondering where our product, our drugs, our product can be washing on shore." And they're like, "Sir, you can please talk to the FAA. We cannot advise you when the beaches are going to become cement. Sorry." He's like, Oh yeah, okay. I'm a very happy resident of Rancho Palos Verdes. Thank you for this. She's like, "That's your time, sir. That's your time." He's like, "Oh, okay. My mom does teardrop tattoos. Okay, bye." More California news. This is a very California episode. I guess the algorithm has learned that I am a Lana Del Rey West Coast bitch. Did you guys hear about this? Customs officers in California have seized $5 million worth of methamphetamine disguised as watermelons. Somebody tried to drive a truck with watermelons into San Diego from Mexico at the Otay Mesa commercial facility in San Diego. The shipment contained what was reported as watermelons, and the officers discovered 1,200 packages of meth wrapped in this paper that was painted. And if you look at the picture, they did some artwork. They broke out the watercolors. These watermelons, very nice looking. And then there's like a big piece of tape in the middle, which just ruins the whole thing, ruins the whole disguise. So it's kind of like me every time I do crafts. Like, I get really ambitious and I do a really, really good detailed job. And then like I just get bored with it. And I'm like, fuck it. Take a piece of tape. I was doing a beautiful watermelon to hide meth, but now I'm just going to take tape and wrap it around the middle. I don't know why I think that officers have to taste test drugs. Where did that come from? Like a 1920s comedy about a cop? I don't know where I got this idea that cops have to taste test the drugs. I can't taste test these meth watermelons. They have seeds. I only eat seedless watermelons and GMO free. And if I'm going to do meth, I get it from the Air One parking lot. I can't eat these meth watermelons. I'm not even sure it's meth. I can't taste it. They're like, "We have $16,000 worth of equipment. You don't have to put the meth in your mouth, John." How am I supposed to taste test the Coke if it keeps coming disguised as fruits and vegetables? Earlier this month, CPB officers in the same area of Otay Mesa intercepted 629 pounds of meth disguised as celery. Fuck celery. Fuck celery. Listen, celery, if you're listening, fuck you. Okay? You have toxicified my mouth so many times, despite the fact that you're made of strings. You're like somebody dipped hair into a nasty gelatin jar of the most disgusting flavored things of hairspray. If somebody made celery, they took hair and they dipped it into Jello made out of hairspray and fucking disgusting salt, pickle juice, and then they solidified it and they sold it in the produce section as celery. Disgusting, toxicified celery. It feels like it's releasing gases. I bite into it, and then it just instantly goes. My gums are like, "We're getting gingivitis from the celery." The cops are like, "I don't know how we're supposed to taste test the drugs. When is the meth going to come disguised in a Crunchwrap Supreme? Then I could taste test it." We have some sinking land in California just to pile on. Power has been cut off to 140 homes in Rancho Palos Verdes. Specifically, the Portuguese Bend. Some 700 odd acres are sinking, and the land is moving up to a foot a week. So SoCal Edison has to cut off the electricity because it was causing fires. Power lines were falling and then blowing up plants, and they can't set their mansions on fire. So they had to cut the power. What if there's a wife out there who's like, "How are we supposed to zap our beach? Honey, get the toaster." And she's like, she's like putting an extension cord. He's like, oh, hold on 1 second. I got to get the long extension cord. The orange one will get down to the beach. And then they run down there and she's like taking the toaster. It's not doing anything. He's like, oh, they just cut the power. She's like, I read that you're supposed to zap your beach. I read that you can zap it. We had to turn it to cement fast. Give me a hairdryer. Connect it to an external battery. I gotta zap this beach. My $5,000 million mansion is sinking. I'm honestly sad about this because I always wanted to retire in Rancho Palos Verdes. I wanted to like sit in a rocking chair and just look out at the ocean and be doing my podcast, of course. And then I'll just be like saying a joke that makes me laugh so hard that I die. I'll be like, and then that's why they use a toaster in the sand. Oh, my heart. And you know, that's what I wanted. And I'm in a rocking chair. I went to Rancho Palos Verdes to do a drive. And I saw what was happening. I literally drove over the Portuguese Bend community. They had, a highway near the ocean. It's probably Pacific Coast Highway or one of the others. And very lumpy, very upsy-downsy. Lots of cracks, crackling and cricketling, like caked on makeup that has been, not freshened up in a long time. You ever see like Martha Stewart's makeup or, someone's makeup near their mouth and it gets all cakey and crackly? That's what the road was doing. It was going, we can't do this anymore. We need more foundation. We drove over these bumps in a rented Tesla, so the bottom was scraping. And then we got to one of the hills and literally someone's cooler had fallen out of their truck. So there were water bottles all on the road and people were running over the water bottles. You know how like you love to step on those water bottles when you were a teenager and they were like, oh, we can get people wet by risking ankle surgery. Step on the water bottle. That's what was happening with the cars. So finally, this woman got out of her Audi and started picking up the water bottles and she would throw it in the grass. Just throw it. Throwing the grass. Our $10 million vehicles can't handle this. The grass can handle it. And then she got back in her Audi like a big freaking heroine of the whole highway. People were like, woo, thank you. We didn't have to get out of our air conditioning. She's like, the things I do for this Portuguese Bend community. I was halfway through a Charlie XCX album and I wanted to listen to the whole thing straight. People don't shut up about Brad Summer and I needed to listen to it. I have to restart it. I have to turn around and restart my whole drive down Rancho Palos Verdes. I have to go to the Trump golf course and you take a dump in the bathroom and then get back in my Audi and do this all over again. People need to stop dropping water bottles out of their cooler. I can't keep throwing them in the bushes. I just don't think that we deserve this land. This is how you're treating it. In more science news, bananas are facing extinction, but maybe not for much longer. Scientists are genetically modifying bananas to avoid Fusarium wilt of banana, known as FWB, and it's a fungal disease that has been plaguing bananas for quite some time. I didn't know this, but there are different varieties of bananas, okay? Scientific varieties. And I'm sure somebody will go in the comments and be like, oh, yes, I love the Shuramashamu banana. To me, there's always been yellow and green, and they all turn black in 2.5 minutes on the counter. I need a type of banana, a variety of a banana that's going to survive the freezer. Okay? I freeze my bananas. Of course, what am I going to do with them? Eat 12 bananas at once? No. I freeze my bananas. And the last time I did that, it fucking failed. I defrosted the bananas and they became instantly liquefied. Like you would touch it and it was like a black condom, like filled with liquid. You would. LeBron James knows what I'm talking about. Except maybe his are not filled with water. Today, the most popular variety of banana sold in stores is called Cavendish, and it was genetically modified to avoid FWB. That's Fusarium wilt. You can still share your bananas with your friends with benefits, okay? What you do with a banana with your friends is up to you. Whether you make banana bread or fuck them with a banana, we have no say in that. Bananas are so sensitive. Have you ever noticed that bananas are the only fruit in the world that has a memory better than a Virgo during Mercury retrograde? I dropped a banana a little hard in a freaking shopping cart, and it was like, pfft, and I instantly was like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. I got home, it had the impression of the car, just the lines of the car in the fucking banana. The banana was like, look, we remember what you did, Joe. You need to be nicer to us. How could you drop us so hard? We saw how you looked at that watermelon. You had lust in your eyes. I'm like, I was just looking at the watermelon to see if it was a meth watermelon. Sorry. You need to be nice to us. Jealousy can ruin a relationship. You're making us jealous. Did you guys know that Yahoo still does news? This is their version of news. Donald Trump and other male politicians are wearing lots of makeup. Oh my God, I'm so shocked. A makeup artist named Victoria Stiles has come forward to say that she has applied makeup to Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders. Victoria Stiles. What a lucky name. Oh, she was destined to be a stylist. Wow, I'm sure that name is on her birth certificate. I wonder if Victoria Stiles has a husband named Victor doesn't want anything to do with this Isles. You know? Makeup artists are coming out of the woodwork now to explain that the changing landscape of HD television is requiring more work on these politicos. Can you call politicians politicos? I don't know. I do. The lights are very bright and the politicians need a couple of shades darker when going on TV. They can talk to Ariana Grande or Rachel Dolezal, those people who blackfished. Donald Trump is like, I'm not even trying to blackfish or do any sort of race. I want to channel a Werther's caramel original wrapper. That is what I'm trying to channel. So make America demure again. Demure. Danielle Stewart, an Iowa-based makeup artist, said that Bernie Sanders won't let her do much to him, and he has a hard rule about people touching his hair. I mean, well, obviously. Have you seen Bernie Sanders? He's like, I put my finger in the socket every morning for this exact reason. Don't push the hair down. I'm rubbing a gummy bear on my head. I'm doing a deoxyribose right now on my follicles. Do not push my hair down. I want the zappified look. Do you guys feel like Bernie Sanders might be a scarecrow? When he had those oven mitts on, I think it was at the presidential inauguration, there was like a famous meme that came out with him, oven mitt. He had those winter mitts. I feel like he had hay under there. He said, keep the oven mitts on. Nobody will know that I'm a scarecrow. I don't even have kneecaps. I have potato skins down there. Anyways, I feel like this is not news, you know. James Charles is scheduling a YouTube collab with Marco Rubio as we speak. They're going to do a highlighter come off where they have to jerk each other off and then use each other's semen as highlighter. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be right back. And they step off camera and they go, and that's how fast they come. Okay, we're back with the highlighter. And he puts some on Marco Rubio's nose. Oh my God. I love what it does to your nose. It makes you look so prominent and straight. And then Marco Rubio's publicist comes out. I'm sorry. We need to. Marco. Yeah, we gotta go. Thanks, James. Thanks for trying. Thanks. And Marco's like, what? I was just starting to enjoy the smell. Like, what? What are we doing? Come on, Sarah. Really? We gotta go. And she's like, yes, we gotta go, Marco. And she's like winking. He's like, all right, bye, James. Whoosh. That's today's episode. If you'd like to watch video clips of today's conversation, be sure to go to our YouTube, handle Talk Show Joe Evie. You can also watch clips on my Instagram, Joe Rodriguez Comedy 1. Be sure to tell your friends to quickly find us on Spotify by going to joerodriguez.com. We'll see you next week.